Young Heroes. Whoa. Hello and welcome back. Danny?
We on?
I think we are.
Oh, I realise. Oh, well, we're back. Fantastic. You weren't given the nod.
Hair. It's not my hair day.
And it's all good hair.
And for you, Danny. But let's move on to the music because people are anxious to know Magnus Carlsen's game against Shima.
Yeah, I mean, we have to see what's on, so the big reveal, here we go. We left position here. Magnus, after 32 minutes.
30 minutes.
H3. High drama.
H3, 32. He usually doesn't spend that much time on move.
And then rook b8. Exchange on b5. Knight a5. Well, if that knight could sink, that would be a good day. So that was exchanged off. e6. e7, queen e6.
So this trade of minor pieces has caused a slight imbalance in the position. It has a bishop and a knight. There's two knights. Plus we like this rook 7 in usual it's a good piece. But on the 7th rank, if it on the 7th rank is the other question. If it will be challenged by rook 8, but could also try double. It wasn't for the e4 hang on. It's concrete. Let's see.
But black looks pretty solid here.
Yeah.
I centralized on e6. So you want to hold, do you?
No, I don't think we can because I think the pawn will be 2v. So
Let's look, just in case.
Sure. So you're saying that the c6 pawn will drop as well, plus the d7 knight is in the air. I can't move the f6 knight away. I meant queen takes e4. Of queen is not good for fight. Not good for black.
Better for white. But if we go back, I just wonder whether, do we actually need to play the rook over? So basically doing that, you're crossing rook 8. But black doesn't need to, obviously doesn't need to take on d4. It's funny, doesn't it, to bring the rook away when e4 is sensitive?
Yes, that's why I was very cautious about it. I thought that this is, by principle, you would have to do rooks on e5, keep your rook on a7, so that it cannot be challenged by rook a8. But at the same time, e4 vulnerable pawn, you wonder if you can actually play rook on a1.
Yeah, Magnus, instead of rook e1, he's rook d1.
Alright.
This reminds me of a game that Magnus played earlier in the year. Now, was it in Vaikonsei or Grenka? My memory is... No.
Neither do I. Pretend we know it. Yeah, just same idea.
It was also a sacco piano, so basically this, and he bishop knight against two knights. What's it against? I can't remember. Anyway, I played a very subtle game and won. So rook d1, he's looking at these sensitive points. That looks like a sensible move. If we have the same tactics again, but again, this is, I guess, strong.
Time management. I think this is the first time that we see the world champion not so much time on the clock. He's got half an hour left. And this is move 2, so there's still plenty more moves to do. They need to reach 4 in order to receive extra 5-0. minutes, which is not anytime soon. 18 moves. 80. This is going to be time trouble if I don't speed up right now.
It always happens that you know, man plays a move, and you can go, I like that move. And I have to say, it's one of those occasions where Rook D1, of course, it makes total sense. I get it now, because
best move. 4.
Because of these, well, we don't know, but you know, I'm by the world champion, basically, that it seems very logical after the move, of course, that it's looking at the.
Is it simply that? Not, I was just thinking he wants to take on A8, but I don't like the A5. I don't, because E8 then takes on E5. I just after the massive trade of pieces and this, which I don't believe in. I'm playing these, I can't believe in them. This is the most straightforward, and I don't think it leads anywhere for white.
Maybe just pawn takes actually. So knight d4. In that position, I'm not probably knight d4 is interesting, but. So
the one idea is about the rook on d would be if we had queen as well on the d5, and then we could play to d6. But I feel like because of the e4, black has also the opportunity of playing rook a2 and the b2.
Yeah, just something occurs to me actually. Excuse me, that 8. I'm not about this, and I
like that more.
I got a sneaky little idea. This.
Whoa! You tricked me. Rook 6 and d5. I win pawn back, but there you go. Knight takes d5, e takes d5. No, I mean I just lost a piece.
Game with an engine. I know many people being home or where we're looking at their engines. So, you know, our ideas in this position are frankly very superficial. Sometimes we get it right, sometimes we fail spectacularly. We try to see what's going on anyway.
We are focusing on huge keys rather than engine moves.
And it's easy to forget that, you know, when games with an engine, that actually this is when humans are playing, and it's a different kind of chess, basically. Yeah.
And well, we chances in the first couple of rounds here at Biel. So it's not just that, oh, they are the top grandmasters, they see everything. No, the engine sees everything because the engine has no emotions.
See, starting to get very interesting because after rook d1. If Magnus is actually threatening to play d5. Okay, let me make a nonsensical move. Play
King h8. I can suggest any nonsense. I'm
good
at this.
Thing is that actually sort of f7 slightly vulnerable.
I know it's even worse than before.
But we'll anyway. Let's go with it. I can't think of another move that just kind of stands there either. But anyway, my idea is this: that after d5 is attacked. Takes pawn, then we can get 2 pieces for the rook. Now, I'm not sure which way around we do it, but for the sake of argument, let me do this. That's actually still a bit unclear, but for the sake of argument, let's say white is better. Should be better. And the other thing is that in this position, after this, then I can take on f6 and damage the pawns.
Yeah.
Because of the pin. So that would be forced, and well, I mean, this is practically winning for white. It is winning for white straight away.
So is a thing. Now, Shahryar has prevented, in a way, these ideas by placing his knight on f8.
having seen d5, then suddenly f8 looks logical because of that. But I think we can say that this is definitely better for Magnus now.
Yeah, we love the rook on a7, as we mentioned. Now the other rook on d5 we can capture as well on black's position. We can capture on any moment, only when we want to, of course, the best moment. Black threatening anything. No, he still can't really take on 4.
I suppose play knight g6.
Yeah.
You know, alleviate some of the pressure. But let me see. Okay, so what if I play d5?
I gotta take it.
So now I take on f6. Queen takes, yeah?
Yeah, takes f6 is not something I would love to play.
Rook takes d5. Hello. Queen d3. Rook on a7 doesn't look good.
Why is this knight f8 preventing the ideas that you showed previously? It's not preventing it.
Isn't this better for white? Okay, let's go back. So d5. Well, as usual, you know, what are you missing?
I have no idea. What are we missing?
Well, it's a pretty simple way to play. I suppose we have to assess the position and see, you know, how good is it for white? Is it just a bit better, or is it serious? Can Shakriya play knight g6 to f4? Is that the idea? And in some way get down to play there.
It is Magnus's turn to play a move, but his time a little bit is down to 26 minutes. Move 23. No, actually, yeah, 23. Yeah.
It's moved. Yeah.
Yeah, he's about to make his 23rd move.
But that is a very tempting possibility. White just has a positional advantage. 2 weak pawns, one on d6, one on d5. Rook on a7 is a monster. Perhaps he's looking for something even better.
Even better than this?
Could be.
What could be better than d5? Rook c7. Is that
so he could go for the same thing as before.
Yeah.
Okay, look, so
yeah, let's see.
Rook c8.
It's actually not the same because with d7, the queen cannot defend the rook d6. Now
So
after rook takes d5. Yeah, so that's the queen didn't have before on d7. Now we could play queen d7 or queen c8. Does it help?
Wow, and he can take on f6. He can take on f6.
Yeah, it's still horrible.
I mean, this is crushing. This is wait a second. So rook c. So basically, this is why Magnus is taking his time, because he's weighing a couple of very interesting possibilities. So rook c7. Shaq must have prepared something better than that.
What is it that he prepared? Is it he wants to take or g first? Maybe.
Yeah.
Thinking.
Which one? Which one do we do first? I think we had the same idea to take on e4.
Exactly. The way you prefer. Which one you want to go for? G5.
I'm not sure. Okay, so I wonder after g4 we can take on g5.
Ooh. Wow.
And take on f7. So the queen has to come here. Have we trapped the queen?
You have just trapped the queen.
Ta-da. Okay, so we won't play g5 then. So you take on d4.
Take on d4, then queen takes e4, so that, well, I thought knight takes d4 was quite smooth. After queen takes, but you still have to take on f6 first. Now, I'm not getting out this, am I?
Be careful, we've got to look out for this move. Otherwise, I mean, if we could take this with impunity, then white has a completely winning positionally. There's not one, they're all isolated.
Yeah.
But rook e2, well, I mean, it's still tremendous, actually. The rook e2 is a normal, but perhaps we can do better than that. Can we improve this? This is still tremendous for white, actually. If we play king f1, if we're very careful, king or knight e3. What do you think, Anna? Which one do you prefer?
I'm bringing the king closer.
Okay.
Although knight e3 with idea of knight f5 is just looking very tempting and forcing. Yeah,
and then
this could be just the best.
On the next turn, we'll take
e3.
one of the pawns. And
king f1 is the slow version. This is the straightforward. I'm taking all your pawns approach.
So basically, we're thinking that Magnus is just weighing up a couple of very interesting possibilities. After rook 7, surely Shaq will have picked something.
Well, what is it that he prepared? Because everything that we have analyzed is good for white. So we believe that Magnus Carlsen, he's thinking because he has the decision to take between one good move or the other good move. If you have the opportunity of playing one or the other, and they both look attractive, they both look like a good for white, and he has to decide which one is better, which one is closer to be winning. He's down to 24 minutes. This is move 23 to be played.
He looks to me as though he's very, very interested in this position.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes. He smells blood.
Well, it's the way he's kind of sitting on the edge of his chair, and I think he's enjoying this a lot.
This is the Magnus that is enjoying the position a lot, you're right. And he enjoys also the beauty of chess. So he's the champion, he has played his whole life, but still, each and every game I feel like it's a new, he takes it as a new challenge. It's always an opportunity for him to improve himself. But at the same time, he's an artist too that enjoys the beauty of chess. So in this moment, I think, apart from the competitive factor, that it's a position that he seems to be doing very well, he's getting an advantage, he will have good winning chances. I think he's enjoying too the that it's rook 7, then you have this takes. I think that he would look at it as well.
I'm sure he has an appreciation of that. However, it's just about getting a 1 on the score chart. That's all it's all about.
That's the main objective, rook c7 on the board, going for the c6 pawn. I think that's his main focus, but apart from that, I truly believe that he enjoys these details in position and the beautiful tactical motives. Anything that's all these players, I feel like we as well, Danny, when we see a beautiful move, we just fall in love with it.
Every day.
Every day.
My head is turned by beautiful chess moves. Rook c7 played.
Imagine you're walking the street.
My head is usually turned by other things walking on the street, but anyway. Rook c7 is on the board. Just great. Unless we're overlooking something. This is just tremendous.
I know, isn't it already winning a pawn or just a much better pawn structure? In the line where black manages to take back on c6, let's just show it 1 second briefly. Let's say rook c8, rook takes c6, rook takes c6, d5. Black will want to get that pawn back by sending the rook, if he wants to, get the pawn back. But it will allow c6, queen takes c6, bishop f6.
Okay, wait a second. If I play this...
What's the difference?
I'm not going to take back straight away, but if I play this, and then on the next turn...
Well, it looks like desperate, but maybe it could work.
Does that keep it on the board? That might be the way. That would be a bit jammy.
If d8 works as a defense, I doubt it. We need to refute it. We need to find a way to refute it. If not, queen takes c6 next move.
Well, I'm looking at this, of course. It's the obvious move, but I don't think... And it's like an extra piece. It doesn't go anywhere.
Oh no, we once again managed to make it winning for black.
Yep. So knight e8.
Still not over.
I mean, white's positionally better, but it's not that brilliant. That's really
This could be a
annoying.
brilliant defense.
Okay, so let's look at this slowly. Then, is there an alternative?
Well, the idea with rook 7 is to capture the pawn c6, if not by rook c7. You have to go for the capture. You see another move?
Well, if I'm going to play devil's advocate, then I could play, for example, this and say that I'm very slightly better by coming to d6. Listen, I'm sure that's not intention. It
No,
feels like a
it
very...
doesn't look like.
Yeah, but actually,
This is better for white. So
absolutely,
actually,
yeah.
actually, this is better for white. But is there more than this? Winning a pawn in any way? Is there rook c6 after rook c8?
Let me see this again. This.
Oh, tweet from Paul using the hashtag without the computer. So I'm going to read. Thank you, Paul, for human suggestion. He's saying, I have the feeling overlook rook takes c3 after d5, don't you?
That's a very good point.
Good point, Paul, and thank you for not using the.
Having said that, just a moment. Takes. But this is still also for white.
Sweeps. I think his point is that he wants to win the pawn immediately without having to play queen c8, knight e8. But now, if black has to play queen e7 to prevent bishop e6,
So I think I want to avoid g5. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take this straight away. And now, in light Flynn, queen c7, or maybe
rook a1. Both are very tempting. Maybe this is more precise. You threaten queen c7, you might threaten rook a6 too, or queen c6. So many points.
I guess it depends on how much counterplay black has down here, but it feels it's better for white, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks like quite some advantage. I don't know if it would be the winning position, but it looks like a very good position for white.
Yeah. I mean, I think the only hope is to create counterplay on the king side, because on the queen side, black is just lost.
Well, can he create counterplay on the king side?
Knight g6.
Well, he needs the knight on f4, and then he threatens knight takes h3. But it's king time. Queen c7. Rook a6.
Okay, now it's black's turn. Here.
Give me the d6 pawn like this.
Well, I want to take an e4.
Yeah, I understand. I just thought that the d pawn is much more important because my d5 pawn is almost a queen. Or maybe it's not that clear.
I don't think it is that clear. No, but of course, whoever suggested rook takes c3, of course, we were overlooking this.
Yeah, we haven't even looked at it. Thank you.
But an alternative there is after this move, take with the pawn. Does that make a difference?
I like that d5 was controlled by the queen.
It's just the thought was just to attack the.
Yeah.
It's still better for white.
All these positions are better for. I think the question for Magnus is mainly which one is the best. So there's many pleasant options. I think that's the evaluation of the position. White is better. He's got plenty of good opportunities. He just needs to find one is the best.
Yeah. Although we should say it's actually that position is on board after rook c7. We're just guessing that rook c8 is the move.
Well, he has to defend the c6 pawn. If he doesn't, I mean, he could try something else. Like we have looked at e takes c4. It doesn't seem to work.
I think rook c8 seems to be the best, doesn't it? Yeah.
Shahriar is thinking he's also going below half an hour. So the two players are getting into some kind of a time pressure. Now, this is not time trouble yet, but we are claiming that they could end up in time trouble. It's move 23, and they need to make it move 40. It's still quite far.
Should we move on?
Let's see the rest of the game.
So, Peter against David Nara, and we have this quite technical endgame. Now, I'm intrigued to know how Peter played here. After 22 minutes thought, he did go bishop c2, and it's in this position that we were looking at knight d6. I just wanted to exchange off those light-squared bishops, but after bishop c2, it's gone f6. And Peter didn't find anything better than f3 to force the knight back.
The bishop c2 that he eventually went for.
Now this is interesting. Instead of exchanging bishops, Peter has faith in those two bishops, and he's put it back to d1.
It's so typical in positions with the pair of bishops. Even if it's a passive move, like bishop d1, sometimes it is worth keeping the bishops on the board, because later you will activate them, and yeah, if say goodbye to the bishop very quickly.
Very interesting. So I mean, we can definitely say that white has a clear advantage here, but
yes,
whether you can get anything more than that, but it's a very pleasant position for white. I think Peter will be enjoying this.
I'm just saying that some of his where he spent his time, because he used a lot of time for move 18 and then move 18, and it's interesting that those are some of the critical moments for him.
Well, we could be heading for time pressure here as well, because we're only on the first move, and the clock times, I think, is 18 minutes.
18 below 20 minutes, and that is even worse than the time situation between Magnus Carlsen and Shahryar Mamedov. So they are on move 21. David still has to play 20 moves in less than 20 minutes.
Well, the obvious move here is to play king up. Now, I'm thinking just g4 here. Just push the bishop. And g6, I'm just going to push again. Or if that might have created squares for black. That might have been a bad thing. Perhaps I should just play h3. One thing I'm toying with is the idea of putting the bishop round here. Because it seems to me that the bishop might like to be on this diagonal at some point in the game, to attack the pawn. You know, if there's a trade or something.
So if you look at the bishop on c3, that's a long diagonal, but it's blocked by the f6 and g7 pawn. So your bishop c3 is not so useful. I like it on f4.
Feels normal.
Yeah.
So, well, I'm not surprised that David is investing time, because I think he realizes that he could slip into quite an uncomfortable position, actually.
The problem is that the time he uses, the more unpleasant it can become, not only the position, but having them on the clock. Okay,
so maybe we need to be a bit creative here with black.
Do you see some idea?
Well, I see a little bit of an idea. I think, you know...
Surprise us, Danny.
A bit about surprising, but it seems to me that if black just sits there, it could get worse and worse. So why don't we break some legs?
Whoa! Now, normally, if the position opens up, it tends to favor the pair of bishops, but this is very concrete, so we cannot just generalize and say good for white.
That's an interesting point you make, that, yeah, I mean, we know open bishops, open diagonals, bishops, but actually, in many cases, knights need to...
They need outposts. The knight on d6 is useless unless you find a good square. So it's not just that, oh, b5 opens up the position for the pair of bishops. No, the knight needs a better square. So the knight is going toward the d4 squares. It's also logical for black to push b5. Now, tell you what, David did not go b5, did not play king f7, he went knight to f7.
Ah, okay. So perhaps he's looking for this.
That's also a square for the knight.
It's a good square for the knight.
Yeah, you don't want to put e4 as wide because that we can see e4 square. It could be concrete, but if you stop f3, then knight coming back to d6, maybe. Take control of the light squares. F3 bishop.
I don't we'd rush into that, would we?
No. We are not recommending e4. Just saying that you can't stop the knight jumping e5.
Okay, so how is Peter going to deal with this? Deal with this.
Deal with
Piotr.
Let's pronounce everything as a Russian word.
Piotr.
Are you good at Russian accents?
Я не знаю.
Yes, you're good.
Что?
All right, that actually speaks.
No, but I know Anna is a fluent Russian speaker.
No.
You studied Russian.
I did, but I forgot it all. This is long ago at university.
I think probably better than my Russian anyway.
Knight f7. He's heading toward the e5 square. We can't stop the knight from jumping to e5. What shall white do?
Yeah, it would be a pity if white were forced to play bishop c2 to exchange those bishops off. That would be kind of the emergency solution, if you see what I mean. You know, if I'm getting nervous, for example, something like this, and then, well, okay, I think this is equalized straight away, actually. Yeah, I'm here. It's already a draw. This would not be a success for white.
No. Once again, opposite colored bishops, but this one is a dead draw. Without rooks, that should be just a handshake immediately. Like Magnus Carlsen's yesterday's game, where he actually created chances in an opposite colored bishop and even sacrificing a pawn just to have some initiative. Shall we just check the third game? Because I feel like Peter... No, I was going to say Peter's going to take some time, but he was about to touch a piece. Which piece, Peter?
Armor. He's twiddling his fingers. Shall we move on?
Okay.
I'm not.
No drum roll for this moment.
This is very, very subtle because Peter is very close to getting control, but knight f7 might be enough. Okay. Maxime Vacher-Legrave against Nico Georgiadis. We've had many developments. Maxime took a pawn on b6, so these are the moves.
Yes, the last time we looked at this game, we decided that white is a pawn up. Now, both Danny and I like to grab any free pawn that is up there. So having a pawn up is good. Can create counterplay for it. Doesn't look like that much. No.
It's a clear extra pawn. Right?
Clear extra pawn. Passed pawn.
The only thing is that knight, at least on d5, has full support.
Yeah.
But
the mine by attacking the c6 pawn.
Precisely, yeah. Okay, let's see what happens. It's not over. It's not over. It's not good, but
good, but it's not over.
This is still actually quite tricky.
You think so?
Yeah.
The last move was knight e5 by Maxime.
We've got one move, knight e5. So does that mean there's a threat? Looks
and
like
Maxime stands up. How are they doing in terms of the clock situation? Maxime, way ahead. 40 minutes for the Frenchman. And Nico, once again, getting to severe time pressure. 7 minutes left for the Swiss player.
95 looks like a good move because the threat is just to take e6 and then take the knight e5. Well, as you said earlier, we've undermined the support for the knight, and this does look difficult, because if the knight moves away, then white is ready to invade. It seems that Maxime has placed his rooks very cleverly so that they support this rook, supports these pawns, but they're also ready to transfer to the king side.
That's true.
To attack black's king. So the echo's suffering here, unfortunately. Yeah. No. Well, you can see it there. We had a sort of shake of the head. Tricky. We've had developments in the game between Magnus and Shakria, and went down this line.
This is exactly what we have looked at. Knight e8. Then I told you, you're on fire today.
Bishop e7, and now Magnus has just followed up with knight h4. So he's playing directly for knight f5, looking at d6.
I like it. I like knight h4 a lot.
Okay, I asked the idiot question.
g6.
I stop it with g6.
Double attack, queen d2, but e4 is hanging as well. Wait, e4 is hanging as well.
Yeah.
Clear.
No, it's not. Queen d2 is very, very dangerous. Let's do it. Come on, it's fun.
Okay, we got it, but the e4 pawn is hanging too, so it's not as easy as it seems.
But also, maybe this isn't a threat because I've rook d8.
You know what's a threat? Bishop f8, queen h6.
But
queen h6.
Queen h6 is very, very awkward, actually. Can't defend it.
Because you take on f8 and then the pawn drops with a check.
So if we have to play a move on h5, well, in Lin.
Oh my.
I mean, this is
no.
Yeah, not. So queen d2. Queen d2, I like a lot. So queen takes e4.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have something here? Queen h6. Hello.
Hello.
This is interesting.
Dark squares.
Threatening the knight. So
not just the knight, but in some positions, like you could take d6 with the rook. But you could take the pawn, deflect the knight. Okay, not with the knight on e6. You are ruining my idea.
You wanted to play this, didn't you?
Yeah.
Bishop f6.
Yes.
Checkmating. Seems
it's still working.
Seems quite good to me.
Still working. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so hang on. Knight e6. Let's just check this. We are leaving the king at the other end of the board exposed. Yeah. So maybe here and yeah. We've gone very.
Of course, d6 is not forcing black to take the rook. It's just the.
Yeah, let's go back here because it feels like black is rocking here.
Mm-hmm.
There's another alternative, of course. Perhaps take on f8 first and take with check. Maybe it's not good enough. I don't know. Let's see that again. Knight on e6 does control a lot of squares. Okay, we'll do it again. Rook d6. Let's just check this one. Nothing. No defense. I don't see a defense. Okay. If we now we're threatening to g6 or take e6 or something. So let me try the obvious move again. And what about knight g6? Knight g6. Boom.
I like it.
Love it. Sorry.
I like it.
Yeah.
Knight g6. If I take it, queen g6, and it's over. Isn't it over?
We're getting close. We just got to avoid e4 with perpetual.
Clearly enjoying the position, standing up again. He's got 20 minutes and Shakhriyar below 18 minutes. This is move number 26, is it?
Well,
no, a little bit further.
28,
28.
Yeah. I love the old psychology of, you make your move and stand up and...
What does it say? What does it say?
My work here is done.
I'll let you suffer on your own.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think Magnus will be absolutely delighted with this position. He's putting the heat on here. Looks fantastic.
He's been doing it every day here. He won the first games. Yesterday, he almost won a drone endgame. Well, he wasn't as sharp as we would expect from the world champion. As we said, when he had an exchange, he missed some chances. But overall, he played very inspiring. Fighting in every, going for a kind of opening he believes he has chances with. And that's very promising for a champion match. In terms of his attitude.
He seems in really good shape.
Yes.
It's got to be said. And Shaq is suffering. I suspect that way back, Shaq actually missed this idea of rook c7, take c6. Missed it, yes. Because it seems promising. I
was thinking about h3, 17. And what happened later that allowed c7 idea?
Let's go back. It seems to me he underestimated this idea. Probably he overlooked rook d1. It's a very clever idea from Magnus. Not an obvious move in any shape or form. Okay, so after knight 4, we was trying e6, which is clearly a really bad move because it just weakens the pawn.
Yeah, but if you don't play g6, the knight is jumping to f5.
Bishop on e7 is funny, isn't it?
It is. But it's very useful, putting pressure on the 6 backward pawn.
Yeah.
I like this a lot. I like this a lot, and Shakhriyar doesn't like it.
Because the bishop is, well, it's not even trapped, but, let's say knight e6. And d6 pawn is hanging, and, well, I don't see how to defend it.
See my predictions? Yeah, I'm doing well.
Oh, you predicted a Magnus win?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, this is my chance to take you down again, Danny.
Knight g6 played. Knight g6 played knight after G6. Knight h4.
All right, so both bishop and the knight are attacked.
Well, it's not a beautiful move. Things. One, I can still play knight f5.
Yep, and you can't take the bishop.
Thank you. Queen in the bag. So how is Shaq dealing with the threat to d6? By the way, just saying. Story.
Oh.
Is he missing something?
No, I just thought of something else. No, I'll tell you later.
Okay. No, not progressible. Isn't this just good?
I think it is. I don't understand knight g6, how it prevents knight f5. So Magnus is thinking, and we shall try to figure out what is Shakhriyar's idea.
Sorry, I was just going to say, I mean, knight f5 looks very promising.
Yeah.
This is also very good because it messes up black's pawns, and I'm just wondering if I can play queen b3 or...
What if you go queen d3 to attack the pawn and then queen f3? So if you rook b6 to defend the d6 pawn,
sorry,
I want to go to f3.
F3? Are you sneaking around to the king's side?
Okay, maybe it's not so much actually. I'm just trying to get in.
Yeah, but it looks, it could be very dangerous. I mean, what's black doing in the meantime?
No, he can't move his pieces. That would be the worst. It's not that we have an immediate threat. He cannot move his pieces.
Exactly. It's almost like a Zugzwang situation. We're getting closer. Very interesting. So, I mean, basically, Magnus has two very, very tempting possibilities here. They both look really promising.
Once again, the same problem. He's thinking because he has two, in this case, in the other positions, maybe it was almost two, three good options. He needs to choose which one is the best. It's a pleasant decision to take. Which one I like more?
Okay, shall we move on?
Yeah.
Because Magnus definitely looks in control there. Let's go back to Peter against Navarra. 97. A move that we liked, or at least we couldn't find a clear solution to. G4. Now I was thinking just putting the bishop back here, but David's played bishop D7. And now Peter has played F4. Clearly, knight going to E5.
So this is not the same position. Without the bishop on the B1, H7 diagonal, there's no bishop E4.
Which begs the question, why didn't he play bishop G6?
Yeah. Was he afraid of H4 here?
And then, well, we kind of had this before in a similar position. Then H5?
I know.
Ah, okay. And now F4 here, because perhaps we're getting something on the G file. So, for example, here, I'm ready just to run this one.
And we can square plus the king.
Maybe that's the idea. And yeah, sometimes this. Okay, it's a very sharp position, is it? So what happens here? I think this is why he avoided it. I think it's very dangerous.
Could be. Could be the reason. But now after dropping the bishop back, bishop D7, F4, isn't this very pleasant for white? The bishop, well, okay, bishop C6?
We've got more moves, actually.
Oh, okay.
Shall we have a look?
Yeah. Bishop to C6 was played. Rook takes, rook E1, going for the trade of rooks.
Well, this is one of those classical two bishops against bishop 10 games. In fact, you know, we've seen very, very similar endgames, famous endgames. There was an endgame between Steinitz and I can't remember who it was. I mean,
I'm very bad at recalling names.
A classical example with basically same pawn structure.
Yes. I know positions, but ask me about the players because I'm very bad. Any data.
I mean, what I was going to say is that this is basically a very familiar endgame.
It is.
And a lot of fun for one play.
And a lot of suffering for.
All right, so if I exchange, king takes. Got to watch out for this sometimes, but. Let's just put the king in the middle. Wow, this is very, very pleasant white. If I put the king on E3, maybe the bishop on C2, we could massage king side.
I think this is a worse scenario for. I mean, we have seen, as you mentioned, that game that we can't recall the players' names, but we have also seen these in books or in other games between grandmasters. What I was trying to say is that I think this is a scenario for white where he has a pair of bishops plus the pawn structure is fixed or half fixed in a way that is favoring white because it's a dark squared bishop and so many pawns of black are already on dark squares. So on the king side, he will have a really hard time trying to keep those pawns. And if you move the h pawn, for instance, you create a hole on g6. You move the g. You can't really move the f pawn. This is horrible.
Yeah, it's really ugly.
It's a nightmare endgame.
I mean, I don't know which move we start with. I was saying king d2. We could also be bishop c2, and as you say, force this move. Then the bishop comes to g6 at some moment, but just to bring the king in the middle, so that after the force is cut. Whoops, I went to e3. And sometimes we can do this and g5. Also, just putting the pawn on f5 and bringing the bishop round to g3.
We will be
Cut through there.
joined shortly. Very shortly, we are going to be joined by Grandmaster Maxim Vasilyev, Grandmaster Nico Gergiadis. They have just finished their game. It's a victory for the 5-time Biel champion, Maxim Vasilyev. I think we are ready to have them with us. Hi.
So, yeah.
You can just move this very close to your mouth. We are ready.
Well, we blinked and we missed it, but we have a result.
We have a result.
So, well, congratulations, Maxime, and commiserations, Nico. Did you simply overlook this idea with Queen B1? So as simple as that? Yeah.
For B6, obviously,
Yeah.
but
I mean, maybe we.
probably I'm just worse. Yeah.
To be honest, I just thought Nico had thought like some counterplay for the pawn, so I was looking at all this, didn't find, so I just went for it.
Yeah. No, it seemed pretty clear. I'm wondering. I mean, we have lots of questions. We were toying with the idea of Queen H5. I'm sure you were too. What did you think of Queen H5?
I think it's just bad.
Just bad.
Yeah.
Okay, show us how.
I'll just show
Just like
why I think that.
Do you want to have the mouse?
Okay.
There you go.
And I take on E7. I guess you take with the knight.
Rook E1.
Yeah, rook E1, exactly. Then I get.
Yeah, we were looking at this. Take on C3.
You're not afraid.
I'm very afraid, but I just wanted to see how you did it.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly. I mean, I can. Maybe, let's say, I play a move Queen E3. Might not be the great move on this, but. No, you can play Bishop E6
Bishop
anyway.
E6, yeah.
Yeah, no. Should be more careful, maybe. Oh, but wait. Are you going?
Queen H6 we were looking at, yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'm not exactly sure I would have thought over the board. Even
Castle's queen side.
or knight d4 away. I mean, it looks so scary. I mean, I wouldn't have considered it. I mean, this move is well, more critical. I mean,
Yeah.
it's been played once. Ikaru lost flag against Daniel Dubov in some rapid, and that objectively would be a draw. And it was when he played the right move for some time, but then he collapsed when things. I mean, probably he didn't have much time anymore, but and of course it's a difficult position to navigate. But this already feels slightly better for white. I mean, the only question, because I didn't really think about it, but then I realized it might be a move.
Well, King E7.
Didn't even consider them.
No, I understand. I mean, it took me a while to consider the move, but
Okay, so how are you going to follow up?
something like this probably. 1, G6 and no C5. Queen C5, I think. If knight D4,
Rook
C1.
yeah.
I mean, it looks scary at least.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, I'm still giving up a bunch of points, so, you know.
Okay, but so if we just go a little bit further on, because
this is just white, it's a very important position.
yeah, we thought this was okay. I can't remember what we were looking at. Bishop F5.
Yeah, Bishop F5. I thought C5.
Yeah, C5 is.
Queen D8. I think only move.
Yeah, because otherwise I take on
Yeah,
E7.
now Bishop C4. I thought, or maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah, it's annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Alright.
why I went B6 first.
No,
to avoid
actually,
all
I
those
mean,
lines.
the only question would be whether you can sack a pawn, but
I thought about that too, but I think E7, Rook C7, D5, and white is just
well, you cannot do that.
here D5.
I really don't think you can do that.
Ah, I didn't
But
see that.
but there I can consider the Bishop C4 again, even though now Bishop G4, but this is more serious. Because the queen f6 is also a bit randomly placed now.
Rook d8.
Yeah, and now bishop c4, of course. I mean, you can still play bishop e6, but I mean, at least white is always pressing. I mean, but bishop f5, of course, is a serious try to solve all problems at once. But at the same time, I mean, also, I mean, actually, I mean, we saw that d5 doesn't work, but this move is very serious as well.
Yeah.
So basically, Nico, you were trying to find a way to solve all your problems, and that's
I mean, I was
towards b6, and
I was trying to find a way to develop my piece somehow. I mean, I can just play since the starting position. Yeah, I was trying to develop my bishop, and
v6,
I do not have a good square. Yeah, I mean, with b6, I wanted to put it either on f5 or on b7.
Yeah. No.
Of course, this whole line is connected.
What I can say is that in this kind of positions, I mean, unless if black manages to exchange the bishops, is very slightly worse now, because I get some. I mean, I get something in return.
Yeah.
But in general, it's just very unpleasant to play. I mean, there's been numerous examples of that.
We actually missed the last 10 moves of the game, so
yeah.
Sorry, Nico, it's a little bit painful. Do you mind if we just play those moves?
I think it was just lost.
Can we just go to the end? Oh, well, let's point out for those that missed this. So basically, that was a double attack and a pawn.
There's still practical chances.
Yeah.
I mean,
instead of c6, was there
I don't
b8,
want
or it's also
to
very
be
bad?
like annoying, but b5 of course was a serious move. Like, take queen takes, because at least this doesn't win by force because of knight g6.
Also rook c1, you have rook e5.
Yeah, of course I have rook c1, queen d6. I mean, not that.
b4.
Yeah, bishop e4.
b8 takes h7, isn't it?
No, it's better, but I mean, it's probably even much better. But I mean, you really want something like winning by force in this kind of.
Actually,
position.
bishop e4 is not necessary. You can take on h7 straight away.
Yeah, of course. No, but I thought after queen d6. I mean, I can also consider moves like, I don't know, queen c2, rook d1. I mean, just try to arrest. So, but anyway, at least it was not losing by force, so it was actually possible. Because for a while I thought, I mean, rook e5 and bishop e4 was winning, but then knight g6 came to my attention.
Yeah, well, you can see we spent time trying to crack this, and of course we saw the endgame after bishop h7. But it's not. Yeah, you'd like something better than that.
Yeah,
but it's not completely clear actually.
Yeah.
But Nico,
it might be just winning.
It might be, yeah. But Nico, I understand why you would want to avoid that.
Yeah.
So you were looking for something clearer.
Anyway, so queen f6 was played. No, actually, I mean, I forgot, but let's not.
Another line.
Let's not punish viewers. I mean, in the same position after rook e5, bishop e4, knight g6 line didn't stop there, but anyway.
Oh. But you can show us. We have the time.
You have the time then. Okay, let's. Rook e5. Bishop e4, knight g6. And now I think rook b5.
Oh.
Wow.
But then this comes.
Bishop a6.
You have rook d8 or bishop e2, both. Anyway, so queen f6, bishop e4. Yeah,
and
now
here
rook
was
b8, I was, thinking whether I should play queen a4 or knight e5, both.
Yeah. Both look very tempting, right?
Yeah. I probably would have set queen a4. It's a very simple way to play. But at the time, knight e5 was very tempting. Anyway, I mean, I considered c6 seriously, but like, I couldn't find any serious compensation after knight d5, queen c5, rook b8. I just go like queen c2 and consolidate. And there was another trick, like if no wait, how did it go? Like if you go like queen g6, I can go rook e1. You cannot never take on a2.
Yeah, can we show it just so that everyone sees rook takes and
Well,
f8?
actually, I mean the
Yeah, if we can
rook
just show it
e8
on the
also
board.
works. Yeah.
This is more beautiful.
Anyway,
Yeah, also after
no, this is what was tried because I mean it's tempting to exchange queens, but there are some practical chances. I mean,
yeah, I didn't.
Okay, I just consolidated my position, but I'm not completely sure. Just after rook d3, of course, knight f6 was mandatory. After b3, rook a2, rook b7 was the point. I mean, my point of view is that knight e6 would win on the spot. But how did it go?
This looks like bad also.
No, it does look bad, but there was some stuff that was not completely obvious to me. Yeah, it's hard to remember. Maybe it was simple g8, and then after some are trying to survive this. I mean, of course, it looks.
Play rook c7. I think you just win the c pawn. Knight d4. Maybe. Knight d4, but
No, for some reason I thought of something more troubling. But well, I mean.
Anyway, should we just see the final moves of the game?
Yeah. So knight e1, then I play knight f3, and after knight d5, my point is knight e5. Now after knight f6, we'll just play rook d6. So I tried rook b4, but this is
completely lost.
Yeah.
Instead of knight d5, something else. Maybe
Yeah.
rook a2.
Rook a2, d7.
Yeah, rook 7. Of
Because
course.
f8, rook e4 is also.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. No, it
Yeah.
just.
Poses probably.
Oh, knight f3 is just one move because after rook a7.
Oh yeah, rook a7. Exactly, that was what I thought.
Yeah, but then I thought I could even play knight e5, rook a2, and now yeah, I mean I have to admit, for instance, if I go for this, I mean this is not completely obvious. I mean, it could be a draw.
This is a draw, I think.
Yeah, this is that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
early draw.
It should be a draw. I mean, I wouldn't bet my life on it, but yeah, it should be. But I think
Maybe you can just play rook d4 after rook a2. Just
yeah, no, this I can do because it's true that you don't have.
Because after f6, probably rook d7.
Yeah. Or even any other move, basically. I mean, like f6 is serious winning.
Move like king f6.
King f6, knight.
Knight
No,
goes
no.
to b6 maybe.
Yeah, no, of course my knight wants to go to b6 and it's over. Because if I protect a4, control g5, it just...
Yeah, I think this looks lost.
Okay, let's. I'm just going to play through the final moves of the game. We see how it finished.
So you thought that black had some practical chances, but it should be objectively quite some advantage. The pawn should be a winning advantage, you think?
It should be technically winning, but of course, I mean, in a practical game you need to focus in this kind of positions, not to...
Okay, just to
let
explain.
black get into
Sorry, just to explain. Of course, if the king steps up to d7, then knight e6 is.
is fork.
Yeah. So there we go. Yeah.
It's not the only win, but of course, it ends the game.
Good enough.
Good, quite good enough. Yeah. So well done. Should we just have? Sorry, can I have the mouse back actually?
And we would like to have your opinion on the main game of the day that is between the two leaders. Magnus Carlsen. Did you get a chance to look at the game?
It was interesting. No, I think it's more or less draw. I mean, of course, knight on g6 is a bit, I mean, awkwardly placed for now. But at the same time, the queen on e4 is active. And also, white's bishop on a6 is actually a bit passive, if not for the fact that it prevents the on d6, for instance.
I think we need to look how Shaq got out of this, because about here we're starting to get very optimistic for white.
I was going to suggest the same. We thought that it was all like very, very.
I just a very nice move, because the point is if you take, then bishop will be completely out of play soon. Because you cannot go queen d3 or d7.
Oh, rook b7 missed, forcing issues, and we can't on d6 because of rook b7.
Yeah, now I play g5. At some point, I will get my knight g4, b4. I mean, I don't see in which world I'm going to do with this.
Yeah, rook b7 is a move that we missed. And in variation after g6, knight 5.
Yeah, but you're already out of trouble. Again, I mean, the position actually, I would rather be black, because the queen e4 is so strong.
Wow, we really thought that it was doing very well, and we were worried about the position, but now it's all the other way around.
Well, look, the strength of knight g6, basically. So it's a clever move.
Yeah. I mean, to say I would rather be black is probably an overstatement, because it's probably very drawish, but yeah, somehow, if black manages to get his knight on from e6 to anywhere, e6 or e5 after playing d4, I mean, he might just end up better.
Yeah, interesting position. Well, how are the clock times actually?
Probably very close, like 10 minutes.
Can't see for the moment.
Can't see yet.
Yeah. And in the other game,
very drawish. I mean, I want something similar though with white, but it was evident. But actually, knight takes g5, bishop g7, bishop 4 might just end the game right away.
Yeah, but well, we were thinking this was very, very promising for white, but
what?
Absolutely.
Maybe we are not evaluating.
No, I understand there's a pair of bishops, but here the position is just too close, and you cannot. The problem is you cannot get any activity from the bishop c2. I mean, also from the bishop on c3, it's tough to do something. I mean, if you could get it to b8, of course.
Yeah, but we were trying to get it on this diagonal, but I wonder whether.
No, okay. The only. Okay. I mean, no, just to draw. Probably after knight g5, the try would be e3, for instance, but just get bishop c6.
I think they have just played king e3, bishop c6, bishop takes
g7. Yeah, and I'll get my knight to e6 even. I mean, worst case, I would even knight d4. I mean, that's how sad winning chances are.
Oh.
That's true, yeah.
Well, we thought it was promising before. Now, without the kingside pawns.
I mean, I can go knight e6, king a6, b5 or so. I mean, I can do a lot of fun stuff that won't actually hurt the position, so that's a very bad sign for white if he wants to win at least.
It's true, yeah. Thanks very much, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow for round 6.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us, and good luck. So,
Anna,
Danny, we are not getting it right today.
Completely misassessed 2 positions.
Completely. So we thought that Magnus Carlsen had winning chances, and now it just seems to be equal, or even pleasant for black. At least Maxim says he would take black.
I think we underestimated the strength of move knight g6.
Yeah, we thought it was just a desperate try, and we liked both knight takes g6 and knight f5. I missed rook b7 in my life. I remember my queen d3, queen f3. I was very much liking white there.
Yeah, and indeed in this position as well, rook b7.
Yeah, such a strong move. We can never take the on d6 because of...
Well,
we can take, in a way we lose the e4 pawn.
Yeah.
Now with pawn. That's a problem. She got out of this.
And that's on board.
Knight g6, I'm going to write that down. That's a move that we both missed. On move 28. What is it right now? Move 36.
Yeah.
And, well, they still have time. Actually, they used not much time for the last couple of moves. 10 minutes left for the world champion, 7.5 for Shah. This is already no time trouble.
Yeah, I mean, particularly as there are no really critical decisions to make.
It seemed more critical for Knight g6. Seems to be a very powerful move that we both underestimated.
Well, we've still got to find a move for Magnus, and I'm sure that Magnus is going to try to squeeze the maximum from this position. So let's try something. King h7. Well, how is it if I play... I was going to say queen d6, actually. Considering that the king has now put itself right on the edge, I'm just thinking that a queen exchange and that pawn majority could be favourable, but I don't think Shah will oblige to move the queen down.
Yes, it's more sensible for black to keep the queens on the board.
So probably not that one. And if not that, okay, let's be Magnus and create a pass.
Let's be Magnus. Actually, why not? A passed pawn can still give some chances.
Well, I think one thing we can be certain of is that Magnus will squeeze the maximum from this one.
Sure. Yeah. As he does it all the time, every single game.
Yeah. He's played b3. There we go.
Not many. You have guessed so many moves today.
I'm going to award myself a medal. You rip it off me when I make another blunder, but for the time being.
You're doing very well today. I think you have guessed so many powerful moves. You definitely deserve a nice dinner.
And blundered many pieces. Don't talk to me about dinner. Listen, you're just angling in front of my eyes. We're hours away.
We're not going anywhere for the next 3 hours. No, maybe 2 hours. What's your bet on that? This game is going to be long.
I think we could be here for at least another hour.
And at least another hour. I think that is correct. Correct evaluation of the position, at least another hour. Magnus Carlsen trying to create winning chances by creating a C passed pawn. He's got a bishop and a knight versus 2 knights. We were praising the bishop especially in the game, the pair of bishops. How are we doing with the bishop in this game? How do you like white's minor pieces, black's minor pieces?
I don't like this one very much.
It's not the same.
But the reason for that is that it's really it has nothing to do on the queen side, so basically it's only operating on. Yeah, it's not important that it's can operate on both sides of the board. But as Maxime said, maybe black's only problem in this position is what do you do about the knight on g6, because it's black scope, and if we can bring that into the game, then black won't have any problems. But at the moment, it can't really spin round anywhere. I would love to be able to play e4 and put the knight here. But after e4, I'm going to stop knight 5 with queen d4.
Logical, very logical.
Then can I play queen e6?
Forcing issues you want to... Well, you really want to get your knight e5 and f3. How do I stop you with my bishop pawn in the air?
Hanging 2. So I was going to play bishop d6, but and say
a pawn is a pawn.
Queen e6.
He has played queen to a8.
Okay, what's that about?
I don't know. I like the e4. Where is he going?
Well, if he goes down to A2, then he might be able to attack on the second rank.
Possible. So he's keeping the e4 square for his knight. That's why he maybe pushing it to e4 on to e4.
Shall we see?
Yeah, let's go.
Take.
I gotta take it.
Now let's be bold. Queen down.
Let's be bold too. c5, knight e4. What am I doing there? Can I just put queen c2?
As I mentioned before, queen trade is what we want, isn't it?
Yeah, we have an outside pass pawn as white. The c pass pawn is far from the rest of the pawns.
Okay, but even if I do this, is it so terrible? If I blockade?
Maybe it's not terrible, but it's some chance for Magnus.
But that bishop is a bit rubbish.
You don't like my bishop on b4? I also don't like it. I would love to have it somewhere else, like on d6,
But,
b6.
but you know, it somehow it does give white chances. There's no doubt about that. So let's go back. So queen a8 and c4. Maybe my mate was a bit hasty. Let me try something else.
Oh, we are going to be joined by Grandmaster Peter Svidler and Grandmaster Navarra, who have just finished their game and discuss it right now in Russian, which you might understand if you listen to them in the background.
No. Ты понимаешь.
Good afternoon.
Hi guys. So we have a result, a draw in the game between Peter Svidler and David Navarra. Very interesting opening, guys.
Yeah, but I thought I got absolutely the maximum the line allows, but I still couldn't find anything, because I think this is supposed to be like the absolute maximum. This is the whole point of playing b3 instead of a3, because you get bishop b2 in long castles compared to the old lines. But even here, I mean, I think there are two critical moments in this game, basically. One is after castles d3, I spent like 25 minutes considering if I should keep the queens on the board. Next move, castle takes. I can take with a pawn here. David said that he expected me to take on f6. I don't think I'm winning that. I think my only chance is to do this.
Okay. I don't know if I expected you to take on f6, but okay. So what I would play in blitz, but it doesn't mean it's good.
No, I think one weakness on f6 will never be enough. I think you should be holding that reasonably comfortably.
Yeah, so bishop g4, and I can show one pair of rook and hopefully push f5
I think I'm winning that. No, fe3 was critical, but I think you play knight g4 here. I think it's important.
Yes.
And rook e1, there's a very precise move, rook e8.
Okay, what happens if I play f6? I didn't think seriously about the position.
No, I think the difference is, what I wanted to show is that here, if I go bishop g3, you go knight e5. The difference is, if I go knight bishop e4, you have knight g6.
Ah.
That's what I eventually set on.
And if you take on g4,
you take the f pawn,
yes,
I think.
Yes.
Yeah, you take the f, and then you go b7 bishop c6, and it's very comfortable. But this is what I burnt all this time on. Because otherwise, I think, say, if instead of rook e8, black goes f6, in a similar position, the bishop actually has a chance of landing on d5.
But sorry, quick question,
Sure.
Peter. Do you consider doing this and cast kingside?
No.
Not really.
I should
Clearly,
yeah.
not impressed.
No, very impressed. I definitely should have thought of this. No, it's just very distant.
Well, no, the f-file is important.
Basically, I had this bizarre miscalculation because it's only later than I realized queen e4 is coming after rook e1. I thought I just had a very large advantage after g3 rook e1, and Yeah, that's just very strong. Yeah.
Also had some annoying miscalculation because when I castled or something, when I played c5, or I don't remember the position so well, I calculated bishop b2, d4, long castle, queen e4, queen g3, bishop g4, bishop d3, queen e6, and I for some reason missed rook d1, after which I'm close to lost. Even after another move, white remains somewhat better, but I think it will be playable as after something else. But
I just out for one second. Had I realized that rook e1 is not winning, which I kind of thought, if there's no queen e4, I am close to winning in this position, I think.
Yes, frankly speaking,
just because
everything
rook
comes,
up, bishop d3, everything is.
I just started very, very strong attack in like move.
Yes, first I was disappointed that there was that queen e4 was not working. Then I spotted rook e1, and I wondered if I had some defense, because instead of d e3, knight h5, queen f3, f6, h3 is bad back. I mean, I'm not losing on the spot, but that's the only good thing which I can say about black's positions. Queen e4, and now I was sort of surprised because okay, after the switch occurred here, queen e3, bishop f5, takes, bishop d3. There also move rook a, e8. There are some minor differences. I mean, if white plays bishop c2 like in the game, I can play bishop g6, rook e2, knight e3, rook takes e8. Yes, exactly.
Nice. Yeah, I didn't see that.
I don't know if it's really so good after something like king d2 and bishop d6, rook a1, but probably it is. I have some check on d8 at some point.
Check will be annoying.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. It's just sorry. Let me just fill in a few details. The point is that if this bishop c2 is
okay,
the knight comes out. Yeah.
Of course, the line is irrelevant, and the move rook a e8 also has its drawbacks. To be honest, I expected after rook e8 f3, and it took me.
But once again, I spent what 22.5 minutes. That's what I like. The only way to really play here is to go f3, and then there's this really long forcing line that you have to evaluate. Black goes knight g3. Knight g6 is just no good. I take on e8. Black takes. I go rook 1.
Sorry, why did you take on f5 instead? I mean, you can take on e6 and play rook d1, and then I believe.
It's because I'm an idiot. Yeah, the reason for this is very simple. Okay.
Okay, rook e8, bishop f5, knight f5, rook e8.
Well, this is what I wanted to get. I just didn't think it didn't, because it's a legal move.
Rook e8, rook d1, and it took me a lot of time to find a line where I'm surviving without big. Sorry, could you please take e8 and play rook d1?
Yeah, this is what I wanted to get after
take on e8.
First take on f5.
I need mouse.
Okay.
I will
take on f5.
Sorry.
Take on e8, d1.
And rook d1. Okay, in the end, I thought that perhaps something like b6 could be sort of playable, but I didn't really trust it very much. I mean, I have some counterplays, knight h4 or knight e3, and sometimes rook d8, but it looks suspect.
No, but this is what I wanted to get. And yeah, this is some prime idiocy, because after knight d6, this is exactly the position I was planning for. And yeah, maybe black folds, maybe. But I mean, you absolutely have to go for this. But if he starts with knight g3, I was absolutely convinced that I have to play rook e8 and rook d1, and bishop takes f5. Just today has not been my day, actually.
Not yesterday, because yesterday I got a serious advantage on the open, which was quite surprising to me. Then I saw many promising options, but couldn't choose the right one. Okay, after the general exchange. Rook d1, maybe h5 is the move.
Yeah, you have to start giving up the queen side and going from the king side.
Okay.
It gets sharp. I mean, obviously, bishop c2 is more or less a draw offer. So
we thought you were actually had something here. Okay, we misassessed completely. Sorry, David.
Sorry, as it is so critical, could you please return to the position after the exchange?
Sure. And now...
So that the main, basically, bishop rook e8, d1, and yeah, there's a choice between, I don't know, h5 or b6. You have to start with one of those moves and then start going up my pawns as well.
Okay, after h5, the problem is that after rook d5 and e3, rook takes somewhere.
Yeah,
I cannot take on g2.
I take both, yeah.
I mean, I can take on g2, but there is rook g5 sometimes, and I have some intermediate moves like rook d8 sometimes, maybe with b6 instead of h5 to restrict white's bishop, but it looks very dangerous for me.
You're talking about this, something like this.
Yeah, I take whichever one, yeah. And,
this.
No, it's
bishop c3.
I mean, we can continue analyzing this, but I mean, the main takeaway obviously is that not playing this is completely ridiculous.
Yeah, your best chance, basically.
And I knew it, but for some reason after knight g3, bishop takes f5 just fell out of my sight altogether. I just didn't see it was a move.
Yeah.
After bishop c2, bishop d1, I played b6, which was probably unnecessary. I should have played bishop d7 outright to generate some counter against the g2 pawn by playing knight f5, but okay.
Yeah, I didn't have anything at all here. I just felt this is the only way to continue because you know, it's annoying to just completely give up. It feels like I got something out of the opening, and to just completely accept that this game nowhere was not pleasant. But objectively, I mean, I need 5 here. I need black to do anything for about 5 in a row, and maybe I will generate something. But
fair enough.
Okay, I think such a position is customary for someone who plays or who is black, but I was feeling so good in the position because it's sort of passive, and okay, a7 is potentially quite weak if white changes all the rooks and moves his bishop g3 to b8, and I'm not in to catch the bishop on a7. I mean, so of c7, yeah, I can
even let's say you look at this kind of in a structural fashion. If black says one is to play bishop 3 on the a one did everything, and black just accepts all this, goes king f7, king e7, plays h6. I am not sure I will be able to generate any kind of problem. Obviously, this is the absolute maximum I can get, but even there, I think black probably holds.
Okay.
But also, what David did in the game is a decent way to stop by just knight f7, knight e5 everywhere, and keeping one pair of rooks on the board, I think is just more than enough to make sure I never make any problem. Here I don't believe I'm really threatening anything.
Okay, I agree. I guess say it's psychologically not so pleasant to play such position as black. I had several options. I didn't know whether I should play king f8 to get the king closer to a7, or to play bishop d7 and knight f5, bishop c6, or to play f7. Okay, it's not easy because the position is always slightly worse. Even considered playing h5, but after g4 could open the king side, and I would be so happy. Okay, I would win the e4 square, but it would have no significance then.
Fair enough. I guess at least it's still worrying when you're on the worst side of this position, no matter if it's a draw or anything. Right, folks, should we just have a very quick look at Magnus Carlsen against Shahriar Mamadjarov? That's the move 41.
Well, unless I'm missing something, I am missing some things today. 94 should just make an immediate draw, no? Queen h5, d6.
Queen d5 maybe?
Yeah, queen d5.
Queen d5, yeah, but...
takes and knight takes
and
knight
f6 even. How does it make... Like, you could lose this pawn.
Yes, you're right.
King f7, king e6.
Then you suffer. Then you really suffer, yeah.
No.
Okay. So you...
Also, I don't think there's a threat, so black can make queens of 94.
Yes.
No, I mean instead of... queen f3 move, yeah.
Oh, queen f3 could be.
Yeah, queen f3 is... If there's no draw, Magnus is still expressing a little bit, because knight on g6 is good. This is the only issue black has here, is that it doesn't really have very many moves, but...
Okay, so Magnus still with a little something. David,
sorry, just turn back to the last important moment in the game.
Sure.
I mean, after White played h4 and I played Bishop e2, I think okay. I expected Grandmaster Wiedler to play. Okay, Bishop f3. I expected him to play Bishop d1 now, and I mean, I do not think I can get into trouble, so I want to take and push h5 to avoid. And after h5, I would either go with my king to h6 and play f1 or go with f5 and put my knight on e6 and hope it holds. Okay, I was short of time to decide somehow. Because if I don't...
I don't think.
Okay. If I don't push h5 quite well, and then after f5 there might even be g5 sometimes. And okay, it can be quite dangerous with pawn on black squares. So I believe this is a draw, but okay, black needs to make one decision, and maybe both is a draw. Maybe king f5 by knight d8 is more solid. I don't know, but okay, I'm not 100% sure, and I was a bit short of time.
Okay, there are obviously lots of details to this endgame.
Yeah, it's surprisingly a lot, but yeah, not when I'm playing it.
Yeah. So, I mean, sometimes it happens.
I appreciate that more and more as time goes on, but it's important when it does. I mean.
Sure, but it's predictable. How were you feeling when you sat down at the board?
Felt okay.
Felt fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, just those things.
Yeah, it's
At the office.
Yeah. I mean, there are so many things that annoy me about the game now. More than one. And I wanted to name one, and then I realized I can't choose. Okay. Yeah.
All right, David. What was your conclusion to the game?
Okay, I was quite surprised. I actually had good positions in the first 4 rounds out of winnings. So this is a more like a typical game of mine.
Okay, I think on that note we should leave it there. Thanks very much, guys.
Take a rest, and tomorrow is the day for both of you.
See you tomorrow.
Thanks,
Thank
guys. See you. Well,
we missed quite many details in this endgame, but luckily for us, the players themselves missed details. Does it make us better about ourselves?
Not really. I mean, as I said before, basically, we're looking at these games in a very superficial way. I didn't particularly want to get into some kind of tussle over the endgame, but I mean, Peter was sort of, he almost said he'd given up, thinking that this is definitely a draw. But, you know, White is still better there, and I think that was shown by the fact that, you know, David was still, Sandom was still trying, you know, making sure that he played precise moves.
That's true.
But yes, clearly it wasn't as splendid for White as we were imagining. Anyway, let's turn to Magnus Carlsen against Shahriar Mamedyarov. And the position is actually here, move 41. And no, we've got one move. Queen e4 played by Shahriar.
We reached the time control, so both players took more time at this moment after move 40. They saved an extra 50 minutes on the box. Queen e4, that's where the queen is coming from.
Yeah, maybe we should just have a quick quick recap. Queen a8, and now we were sort of imagining, well, we weren't actually convinced by Queen a2, but just basically he's sticking. Magnus has managed to improve the position of that bishop. I think it played, for example,